Kochie's Business Builders is proudly brought to you by our partner KPMG, who are helping small businesses grow.
Coming up on Kochie's Business Builders, meet the founder who's helping Aussie businesses go greener. We unpack the workplace challenges for businesses in 2024, plus how to use your text to make AI-generated videos in minutes. G'day and welcome to a special episode of Kochie's Business Builders, where we'll be taking a closer look at sustainability and social impact. Joining me today to help unpack the issue is a founder who's making it simple for your business to get on board with sustainable practices, Tom Ferrier. Tom is the founder of Greener, a clean tech startup that is helping Aussie businesses make the switch to be kinder to the planet. Tom, good to see you. Thank you for joining us today.
Great to see you, Kochie.
Greener is all about passion and purpose. Why? What drives you to start a business called Greener?
It really was one of those things that Mum and Dad used to say to us: always have fun, always dream big, and always do your best. And probably about when I was mid-20s, I lost my best friend to cancer. And at that time, I actually took a bit of a step back and said to them, the best friend was my dad, I'm going to do something super big, super impressive, and I'm going to make you proud. And ultimately, that's what I've been trying to do ever since, change the world.
Isn't that interesting? Because you're a serial entrepreneur. Greener is just your latest venture. Purposed was a previous venture of yours, and it was the same thing, wasn't it? It was how to create a social impact.
Look, it was. I was leading the IT strategy at Brambles at the time, and I thought, hang on, this is time to really go out and give it my all. And I also thought that if I've made it at the big end of town, surely it's got to be simpler at the smaller end.
Yeah.
How wrong was I? Startups are notoriously difficult, and I just didn't know it. And I thought, we've got a real problem we're looking to solve. I thought we'd validated the problem, but ultimately after 18 months of just pushing and pushing and pushing, my mentor sat me down and said, Tom, I'm going to ask you a really confronting question. And the question was, is what you're doing a good idea people will buy and use, or is it just a good idea? And I was a deer in the headlights. I knew the answer. It sort of focused me in a few different ways. It focused me on the fact that you can't just go out and think that you're doing the right thing. And I call it vanity validation. We were getting so much support. Big businesses, big names saying, this is great, we'll help. But unless they bring out their checkbook, it's just because they don't want to hurt your feelings. And so I really said from that moment forward, whatever I do next, whether it be back in big corporate or another startup venture, let's make sure that we get the proper backing first and that test everything to make sure it's a good idea people will buy and use.
Yeah, I reckon so many small business owners would be nodding their head there to say, people don't want to be mean, so they just agree. Those learnings, how did that help you build Greener and the idea?
Well, it was funny because it was probably about a month after that moment when the mentor said that I'll level with you, Kochie, I couldn't get out of bed.
Right.
I was the founder of a business called Purposed, but I had no purpose and I was struggling. And someone forced me to go to an event one night and I went along and a person that I didn't even know came up to me and said, did you know that everything we buy has a hidden price tag on the planet? That price tag's carbon, the key contributor to climate change. I wasn't in the mood for a conversation like that. I didn't even want to be there. But something clicked when they said that, and they went on to say we could stop this crisis if we all got our carbon footprints below 2 tonnes per annum.
Right.
So I went, well, hang on. I didn't know we could solve this massive crisis. I thought it was too far gone. And so from that moment on, I haven't stopped thinking about how do we reduce that hidden price tag? And ideally, let's make sure that we do it in a way that people will buy and use, so it's not just another good idea.
Stick around, don't go anywhere. Tom is going to be back shortly to show us the route where we can all make a difference. Coming up, the workplace challenges you need to prepare for in 2024. Plus, Tracy Sheen reveals what happens when AI meets video creation and how you can leverage it for your business. Welcome back to Kochie's Business Builders. Workforce issues have come to the forefront of businesses' minds over the past year, from questions around the role of AI to new federal laws around pay and entitlements. To get you thinking one step ahead, I recently met up with Christina Kipper, partner in charge mid-market at KPMG Australia, who shared the things your business may need to look out for. Christina, good to see you. Now, why do you think the sands are shifting so much when it comes to our workplaces at the moment?
The uptake of remote work, changing attitudes towards work-life balance and other social trends are challenging traditional notions of employment. Employees now have more flexibility on how and where they work, and they're looking for workplaces that share their values. So employers need to respond to these new expectations to be able to attract and retain talent. But they in turn are considering how technological advances allow them to think differently about how to use their workforce and how roles are emerging. These dynamics are creating a shift in how the workforce is structured and how people pursue their careers.
Well, you see so many workplaces. You're a good guide for us all on this. What do you think are the three biggest challenges facing employers now, people that own their own business?
Well, top of the list remains finding people with the right skills and being able to align their work preferences with your needs. Secondly, it's the uptake of technology such as artificial intelligence to augment and better use your workforce. Third, I would say, is an increased focus by government and the community on businesses meeting their workplace obligations. Examples are privacy laws, mandatory reporting on workplace equality, and also the reforms to the Fair Work legislation. We've all seen how non-compliance, such as underpayment of staff, can be costly and damage your reputation.
How can we as businesses improve our responses to those challenges?
I think it's really important to be open to different models like outsourcing and accessing contingent workforces. For a small or even mid-market business, these might be better options than hiring for a specialist role or for a particular project. But also think about how you can move people around in your organization to meet areas of high demand. As for technology, we're seeing a real inflection point with the uptake of AI. It's going to be bigger than we can even imagine right now, and the productivity gains will be significant. So start to think now about what processes and tasks you can automate and how you can reskill and upskill your workforce to get them ready for emerging and more interesting jobs. Finally, compliance. It's really important that you understand and keep up to date with your obligations as an employer and how it applies to your business. So make sure that your systems and processes are set up right to avoid mistakes in the future.
Well, Christina, as we all start planning for 2024, you have given us some food for thought as usual. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me, Kochie.
G'day folks, Tracy Sheen, the Digital Guide, back with another tech tip. We're leaning into AI even further now and talking about video creation. Lots of us do longer form videos these days with webinars or online platforms and content creation. But have you ever thought about repurposing that long form content into short snippets that you could maybe use on your website, social media, or even emails? Don't worry, AI's got a solution for that as well. Try checking out platforms like Synesia, HeyGen, or Rephrase. All of them will take long form content and shorten it into little snippets that you can use on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, any of the social media platforms, or even for your emails or your websites. Now, these things are really cool now that They will auto-focus and auto-frame depending on what platform you want to use the video on. So none of this going back through and editing to suit the platforms. It does it all for you. So no need to keep recreating content over and over again when you can lean in on some of these amazing tools that are out there. AI is just got so much going on at the moment that you really need to stay curious. On that note, I'll see you next time.
After the break, Tom Ferrier will be back to explain why sustainability makes good business sense. We're back with Tom Ferrier, founder of Greener for Business, and we're chatting all things sustainability. So if you're keen to lessen your business's impact on the planet, listen up. Tom, how do businesses, line by line, go through and understand the impact they make on the planet?
Well, the beautiful thing is you don't have to anymore. We've really built a platform that helps them save money and the planet at the same time. And we start with the low-hanging fruit. So a business simply logs into our free platform and in under a minute gets their own personalised pathway to reduce emissions, but also save money. And how we've done it is we've worked with the best, from Harvard's behavioural science team to the University of Sydney carbon data team, to really make sure that we're not just telling businesses what to do, but we show them how to do it. And under each one of these actions is a simple step-by-step guide that's underpinned with market-leading offers from some of the biggest names in the country for their more sustainable solutions. That way we help businesses save money and the planet at the same time.
Okay, so all the hard work, because you're quite right. Most businesses are doing it tough at the moment and they think, hey, I want to do what's right for the planet. I'll put that on the back burner because I've got to make a profit at the moment. So you've taken out all of the complexity that businesses would need to go through.
Absolutely. Kochie, 43% of businesses this year are non-profitable based on what the government's telling us. But what many people don't know is that 40% of the country's emissions come from small businesses. So we really re-looked at those two problems and said, if we can find a solution that solves both of them in a way that solves the immediate need for business, which is their cash flow, but also addresses that longer-term challenge that we're all going to face, called climate change, we thought we could be onto a winner, and the early results are looking positive.
Okay, what's the biggest feedback you're getting from small businesses who go through the process? Because I imagine a lot would say, hey, this is going to cost me money. Costs are going to go up to go for a renewable alternative. Is that a myth?
It used to be fact. But right now, the tides have turned, and today it's the biggest myth that we're facing and the biggest challenge that we're having to overcome. And so what we've really done is led with case studies of businesses that traditionally would have had to pay more, but we're delivering amazing savings. Just recently, we saved Ray White Clayfield $400 a year on energy and took 3 cars off the road in emissions. And so once we get the case studies out there, people are going, hang on, I'm going to give it a go. And more often than not, we're saving considerable sums of money.
And within those companies who are going through the process at the moment, what reaction are they getting, number one, from their staff, and number two, from consumers?
The staff of these businesses are saying, how can I get the message out there so we get other businesses to follow suit? And that's exactly what we want to hear. That's music to our ears, because our goal is to see every business in the country get greener by 2030. I think we're also seeing from consumers are wanting to know where to shop and how to use their dollar for good. And we've actually got a separate consumer solution that is showing that 65% of users are shifting their spend. So the proof is there, it's really exciting, and we're seeing some serious impact being had at the same time.
Because people and consumers are often sceptical, aren't they? So there's been a lot of instances of greenwashing, corporate saying they're doing the right thing, but they don't. How powerful a message is this for small businesses to get across and show their credentials?
Look, the proof's in what we've seen just since launch. We're having businesses ring up saying, how do I get this message out there further? I want a sticker on my window. I want you guys to spin up mini websites for me, because this is the message we need to get out there. And these businesses don't know how to tell the story. And nor should they. They're flat out just trying to keep the lights on. So we're extremely lucky that there's so much excitement and buzz around what we're doing. And this coalition of partners that we're bringing to the table has already seen us attract marketing reach of over 1 million small to medium businesses.
Okay, and as you say, commercially, it makes sense for small business to do it. Really important. Tom, stay there. Want to continue to pick your brain. After the break, is buying a business a good idea? Real lessons from someone who's just been there and done that.
Hi, I'm Brodie Hatt, CEO and co-founder of a digital lender called Wealth. We recently bought a business, and I want to share with you some of the valuable lessons that we learned along the way. Number one, preparation is key. Try to commercially agree on as many points as possible before bringing in your respective legal teams. This will help you save on time, cost, keep transparency, and most importantly, keep the deal on track along the way. Number two, remember the people selling their business are usually just as emotionally charged as the people buying the business. So it's super important to keep your professionalism and respect through the whole journey. And number three, most importantly, we learn along the way that culture is the barometer for performance. If you're looking to retain the people in the business you're buying post-completion, it's really important you ensure a smooth transition of that culture process, because at the end of the day, your people are everything in business. Wealth is a lender that is driven by purpose over profit. If you would like to find out more about what we do, please head to our website, wealth.com, WLTH.com.
Welcome back to Kochie's Business Builders. Today we're chatting with Tom Ferrier, founder of Greener for Business, on all things sustainability and the environment. Now, research by McCrindle suggests almost 2/3 of Aussies are more aware of the impact of their purchases than a year ago, and 41% are concerned about the environmental credentials of brands. So what challenge does this pose to businesses? And Tom, are they slow to adopt these sustainable practices? Do we need a kick up the backside?
What I'll say is everyone wants to do the right thing, but they're so time poor, cash poor, and ultimately need a greater incentive most of the time. Now, you've got pockets of businesses out there that are really leading the charge and others that are lagging. And we're seeing that businesses that are taking that advice and getting better for the planet are reaping the rewards from the consumer.
Does it give them a competitive advantage?
I'd say it does today, but I don't think it will for long. And the reason I say that is it's going to become a strategic threat for those that don't. Everyone is starting to get on this bandwagon, and so should they. We're running out of time when it comes to taking material action. And so the longer businesses wait, they're going to become extinct. Consumers are shifting their spend. B2B businesses are shifting their suppliers because they're being forced to. So yeah, today it is a competitive advantage, but I don't think it's going to be for too much longer. It's something they just have to do.
Isn't that interesting? It's like having a digital footprint. Previously, it was an opportunity. Now, it's the biggest risk to your business if you don't have one. Same with sustainability practices. That's got to be driven by staff and customers as well as a really powerful reinforcer of it, isn't it?
Absolutely. Staff and customers are some of the biggest reasons that these businesses are doing it. Again, cost savings, great, but if you want to build a loyal workforce, if you want to build a loyal consumer base, you need to be focused on the things that matter to them.
So what's the next step for Greener for Business?
Look, we've just launched with a coalition of some of the country's biggest names, whether it be Origin Energy, NAB, we've got Sendle, we've got Appliances Online, and they're all bringing market-leading offers to help these businesses take up greener solutions. What's also exciting is so many councils across the country have taken the solution and are putting it in the hands of their constituents to help them achieve their net zero targets. Our whole ultimate goal here at Greener is to get every business in the country to get them greener, and ultimately by 2030 we want to halve emissions in small to medium business, and that would take the equivalent of 25 million cars off the road in emissions.
Mate, congratulations. No one can argue against what you're doing, but most small businesses have no idea how to do it and the direction they need to take. Greener for Business sort of holds our hand, gives us a process, and it achieves everything for us both ways. Mate, congratulations. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Kochie.
Really appreciate your time. Has it been fantastic learning all about Tom's entrepreneurial journey, but also Greener for Business and the process that you can take. It's so easy to do. You've got to do it. To find out more, head to greener.com.au. And remember, if you're looking for small business tips or the latest news and expert advice, 24/7, 360 days a year, head to kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au or follow Kochie's Biz on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta and X. See you next time. Next week on Kochie's Business Builders, serial entrepreneur Alec Ramsey drops by for a chat. Expert tips for optimising your business costs right now, plus the calendar apps that can help you take back control of your time.